It began as an ordinary night, until a single explosion changed the world forever. In just a few seconds, everything would change. A powerful explosion tore through Reactor No, sending radioactive material high into the night sky. What followed became the worst nuclear disaster in human history. This is the story of Chernobyl. The Chernobyl Nuclear Power Plant stood near the city of Pripyat in northern Ukraine, then part of the Soviet Union. Thousands of workers helped produce electricity for millions of people. Reactor No. 4 was scheduled for an important safety test. The test was designed to improve safety during a power failure. But a series of delays pushed the test late into the night. To continue the test, several safety systems were switched off. Inside the reactor, conditions were becoming increasingly unstable. Within minutes, a routine test would become a global catastrophe. The safety test began, but the reactor was already operating under unstable conditions. Power levels changed unexpectedly, and the operators struggled to stabilize the reactor. Inside the reactor core, energy rapidly increased beyond safe limits. In a final attempt, the emergency shutdown button was pressed. Instead of stopping the reaction, the reactor became even more unstable. Seconds later, a powerful explosion ripped through Reactor No. 4. A second explosion followed, exposing the reactor core to the open air. Burning graphite and radioactive particles were thrown high into the atmosphere. Many people nearby had no idea what had just happened. Emergency crews were immediately dispatched to the scene. None of them knew they were entering an invisible danger. The battle to contain the disaster had only just begun. Within minutes, firefighters arrived to battle what appeared to be an ordinary industrial fire. Their first priority was simple: stop the flames from spreading. Most had no protective equipment against radiation. They climbed onto burning rooftops to extinguish dangerous fires. Around them, invisible radiation levels were dangerously high. Even as the danger grew, they continued their work. By dawn, much of the fire had been brought under control. But the invisible threat remained. Many firefighters and plant workers had received extremely high radiation exposure. Doctors and emergency teams began treating those affected. Their courage helped prevent an even greater catastrophe. As the fires were brought under control, another crisis was unfolding just beyond the plant. Just 3 kilometers away, life in Pripyat continued as if nothing had happened. Few residents knew that radioactive material had spread beyond the plant. Authorities monitored the situation while preparing an evacuation. More than a day after the explosion, buses finally arrived.
Тише, дети, не подходите близко.
Residents were told they would return in just a few days. Most left behind nearly everything they owned. Thousands boarded buses, leaving their homes behind. Few realized they would never live there again. Pripyat became one of the world's most famous abandoned cities. Today, the exclusion zone remains a reminder of the disaster, but the world was already working to contain the disaster and learn from its consequences. With the reactor destroyed, thousands of workers were called in to contain the disaster. These men became known as the liquidators. They cleared debris, built barriers, and worked under extremely difficult conditions. A massive concrete shelter was built to cover the damaged reactor. Years later, an even larger steel structure was placed over the site. The disaster transformed nuclear safety around the world. Scientists continue to study the exclusion zone decades later. Nature has reclaimed much of the abandoned landscape. Yet the events of April 1986 are still remembered across the world. It remains a reminder of the importance of responsibility, safety, and preparedness. The lessons learned continue to influence the future of nuclear energy. Chernobyl changed history forever, and its story reminds us why understanding the past matters.